We are learning just now. It's still fresh, so we're still getting details on this horrific shooting, but we've been told what's been reported is that the shooter is Audrey Hale, who had 2 assault rifles and a handgun. And Audrey Hale identifies as male with he, him pronouns, identifies as Aiden. Police are investigating the identifications as a trans man, as a possible motive. There is a manifesto. Now, I'm sure there'll be all sorts of debate whether this manifesto should be made public. I would hope not. I don't think we want to be incentivising any more behaviour like this. We saw with the Christchurch shooting, that manifesto not be published, and I think that is a sound move.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, we're in the day and age of leaks, so let's hope that they're able to contain that if that's the approach they want to take. But, like Biden will clean it up, and they'll pivot to the standard talking point, which is gun control. Like, whenever these horrific tragedies happen, that issue becomes front and center. The other issue, though, which you're alluding to with that, is there is just a mental health crisis. We've become really a sick society in general for many reasons, and then the trans thing is part of this story. Yeah. I do think it's part of it. Are there consequences mentally to when you're taking hormones and doing all these things? Does that egg on somebody who has those? And
also some of the narrative that's been highlighted today, some of the day of vengeance and some of the activism that is quite violent in its rhetoric. And I think also when you consistently push the narrative that there is all this hate and oppression of the trans community, that there's a literal genocide happening, there's so much hyperbole in the language used by those activists that someone would actually take that to heart. And I mean, I'm not talking specifically about this case because it's fresh. We're only getting the details, but what we already know is cause for concern. And there's been comments made by local authorities. Let's have a listen.
We have identified the active shooter as Audrey Elizabeth Hale, age 28.
But we do firmly believe she was a student there.
Did she identify as transgender?
She does identify as transgender, yes.
And no motive at this point? Anything discovered in the apartment or house?
No, we have a manifesto. We have some writings that we're going over that pertain to this day, the actual incident. We have a map drawn out of how this was all going to take place. There's right now a theory of that we may be able to talk about later, but it's not confirmed.